Hello, my little sunshines. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Today we're playing Oxygen Not Included. I have played a lot of this game over the past few years, and I still have not yet actually finished the game. I haven't gotten to the Temporal Tear. And so, if this is your first time seeing this game, basically this is a colony simulator and management game. Where we respawn with these three little duplicants. We can get more duplicants as time goes on, and our goal is to make it out into space and get into something called the Temporal Tear, and that will get us out of the galaxy and thus winning us the game. You'll see more as we get into it. These are our three dupes today. We have two builder diggers. One of them is very good at building, one of them is very good at digging, and we have a researcher, and as you can see here, their traits are not bad at all. I rolled for a little bit to get these guys. The first one here I'm going to name Nide. This one here I'll name Kyle. And this one here, I'll name Morgan. If you want your name as one of the duplicants, just go ahead and join my Discord server, and I'll take your username or whatever you want to be called, and I'll name a duplicate after you. Immediately as we spawn in, alert, I've awoken at the target location, but colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. I was supposed to land on the planet's surface, but became trapped many miles underground instead. Although the conditions are not ideal, it's imperative that I establish a colony here and begin mounting efforts to escape. So, click begin. I'm going to press space immediately to pause. And so as we can see here, we have a little bit of oxygen. Surprisingly enough, the game's called Oxygen Not Included, but it is included almost always. But as you can see, there's very little oxygen that's around. A lot of the stuff that's around actually happens to be carbon dioxide, it seems like. We got some hydrogen over here, but we've got very little oxygen. And as we continue to dig out, left, right, up and down, and all around, we'll find that there's less and less oxygen readily available. We have these little patches of ores called oxalate here, and they will off-gas some oxygen while we're here. So before we unpause, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start digging out a little bit. I think we've got a lot of water around, actually. This is a lot of water. And so I think I might try to consolidate it all immediately. Might not be the best use of my time, but we'll see what happens. And so as you can see, my little doopies here, my little poopy doopies, they're going to go ahead and they're going to start digging. And as they dig, we have material now to build with. And so I'm going to build down here. I think, honestly, no, we're going to have to put the floor here. And, yeah, we'll gain more stuff as we go. First things we have to worry about are toilets, really, and beds. But the issue is we don't want to put our dupes too close to this light, because the portal is giving off light. And so I think I'll go ahead, make 2 toilets there, and put a wash basin down. That way they'll have to go over here to use the bathroom, and then they'll go over here to eat and go to bed. And as for our furniture, we'll go ahead and that looks like it's just in range, or just out of range of the light. And so that should be good enough for everybody. We're going to take things slow for now, as you can see up here. For the time being. I'll fast forward through this for you. It'll be a little cut, but basically, I don't want to mess anything up, because if you go too fast and you don't react soon enough, sometimes you'll just miss some things. Like, I don't want to get to a point where we don't have any oxygen for our duplicants, because I waited too long to do so, or rather I sped up time and too much time passed, and more stuff happened than I thought. Because in this game, things can go from amazing to terrible in seconds. So you want to pay really close attention to what the dupes are doing. We need water here. Right here. I'm going to leave these at a priority of 6 for right now. We don't have any water for the wash basin right now, but that's okay. And see, this is one of those issues I'm realizing now that I don't actually have any space to get up and around here to drop the water, which is what I was trying to do originally. But that's okay. And so now we can do one of these. Oh. Gone. Alright. And now I can rebuild my toilets. Now we can get down all the way down here. We can drop all this water down to here. And over here is going to be, I want to say that right here is going to be where we put our pitcher pump. For the time being, we'll leave it as is. We want to clear all this out and make a little tank. But yeah, at this point, it's just going to take a little bit of time for my dupes. They're not going to have water to wash their hands after using the toilet, unfortunately. We need to get that built ASAP. Very soon, we're going to want to turn this area into research so that we can get more things to build. Because as you can see, we don't have a lot of things that we can use to build. Tasteful Memorial. We do now have metals. Well, trying to think about what the next move is. I think we might just have to wait until cycle 2 in order to start on research. But for the time being, I think we can just let them do these things. And so I'll speed up time for now. So we now have beds. We have a little bit of food waiting for us in this ration box, and we have toilets. And that's really what's important here. I'll go ahead and just open that up so they can come over and grab that. I think this is going to be a more ideal space for them later on, because we are going to be extending this this beginning room. We have something called the rooms overlay over here, and we don't have any colors yet, but as you can see over here on the right, eventually we can get some colors. And for instance, the barracks is one of the first things that I want to get done. This is just simply a room of a size between 12 and 64 tiles that has beds in it, and that will give my duplicants more morale, and morale is going to be important later when we give them more skills, because let's face it, these dupes, they have no idea what they're doing. We have a skills tab right here, and yeah, they don't have a lot of skills, but they've already got 2 morale. That's very interesting. I wonder why. Oh, New Hope. Interesting. So when they first spawn, they have +1 morale and -26. I didn't know that. That is very interesting to know. Okay, let's slow things down a little bit again. We want to get into the second room. Well, we'll at least plan it out. I don't think we'll be able to get here in time. We want to dig all of this out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch some of my priorities a little bit. I want them to focus down here so that we can finally get into here. And then, quite simply, I messed that up big time. Quite simply, what's going to end up happening is we're going to put our toilets down here. And then up here is going to be power. We're going to end up deconstructing this, actually. I kind of want to take my beds out as well. I'm not going to lie. So I might do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I think I might do one of these. Keep that tile around. And just put a tile right here. And then we'll put our beds down here. Now, the only issue that I'm seeing with putting our beds down here is that there's no oxygen down here currently. But the sooner that we get things moved out of this area, the sooner we can get oxygen down. So now I'm going to speed up time a little bit, let them do their thing. Honestly, now that I'm watching them don't want them to do this. I kind of just want them to dig the area out. Having space is more important than having a floor. For me, anyway. Can they reach that? Good. I don't need them to reach it. This might not be a good place for the pump. Okay, good, good. As you can see, we're now dropping enough water to where I think I am comfortable. This is what? Yeah, a few grams worth of water that's falling down. And so I think I'm comfortable enough to put in a door right here and let them come in here and start digging this stuff out. We need, yeah, we just need to put this in a better place. So I'm just looking around to see if there's any like nearby geysers or anything. Sometimes there will be geysers and volcanoes and vents that will infinitely give off different materials. And as we expose them, we're going to want to exploit them without question. Okay. We want to, we're already on cycle 3. We're getting a little too late here. We need to start deconstructing all of this stuff so that we can get in here. All right, guys, come on. No, no, no. Don't. I need you to deconstruct them. I don't need you to disinfect them. There we go. And so now, what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Well, what we're going to do is start digging out some more of this stuff over here. Because we need some of that sweet, sweet copper in order to make doors, apparently. Okay. And so in this room, well, over here, actually, we don't have a lot of metals. Oh, okay, so the printing pod is out. So now we have a choice of another duplicate. Or some goodies, like a fungal spore or some sand. Which I don't think I want to take either of those things. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I want any of these dupes. They're pretty hodgepodgey in terms of their skills. And so I don't think I want to accept anything like this. I think sometimes it's important to know when you should and shouldn't take a dupe. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to take the sand if I'm going to take something. Just know that you don't have to take a dupe every cycle. That's very important to know. Okay, let's see if the pitcher pump. Okay, good, good, good. So what we can do now, deconstruct these two lads and throw in our pitcher pump right there. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and put that, put another tile right there. Okay, now that we have a little more stuff, oh my god, we're already getting over to cycle 4. It's crazy. We're going to do one of these. We're going to put down, well, we want to put down 2 stations. As you can see, our dupes are having to wake up in the middle of the night to get some oxygen. We don't want that. Oh no, and we really badly need to make these toilets. Because these dupes are going to pee themselves. I took out the toilets too soon. That's really unfortunate. I hope they pee themselves over here, so yeah. So I can just like scoop it up later. As a matter of fact, I might just keep it here for a little bit of oxygen. Heat in the water. That's what I wanted to avoid. So now there's going to be germs in the water. Look at that. There's just all kinds of germs. It's fine. Like I said, I don't really care about germs, but like, this is one of those things where it's like, if you had set up this, well, I say you, if I had set up these systems earlier, the dupes wouldn't have had to pee all over the place, and we just wouldn't have germs anywhere. Unfortunately for them, and for me, we did not do that in time, so that's, you know, whatever. Stations. Research station, blammo, and yeah, go dig. There's a little more copper there. Go dig it out, please. Guys, why are you just going over this dig command? No, come on. Come over here and dig, please. 9. I just want a high priority. I don't really care if it's 9 or not. Go and do that, please. For these doors, we're going to do that. Copy those settings to here. And then make these ones always open. Okay, so now that we have a little more copper, I think we can place this down. Perfect. Is that copper? It is. We're gonna put a tile right there. We're gonna dig this up because we're going to need a little more copper in our lives. We have a lot around us. It's not like we have no copper. So we're going to take advantage of that without question. We can't reach this stuff yet, so we're going to leave that off. Okay. Now, the issue with having water all over the floor is that the duplicants get this debuff called Soggy Feet, and that gives them stress per cycle. As you can see, our stress isn't bad, actually, but, yeah. Now that we have our research tables down, I want to go into priorities. And I want to set it so that Morgan and Kyle are going to be our builder diggers at all times. They also really like attacking. Now, Nide is going to love researching and operating. And we'll do a little bit of, you know, supplying and tidying. Everybody will be doing toggling. As a matter of fact, let's do one of those. Everybody. Let's look at our overlays here. We have our materials overlay. Yeah, we have a few pieces of polluted oxygen here and there, but we've got a lot of carbon dioxide building up. And so this is not an amazing place to leave the cots for the duplicants, unfortunately. But it's okay. We're going to finally set up the rest of our rooms here. So we're going to make this a ladder. And we're going to deconstruct all of this. And so this right here should be the end of the room. And so what we're going to try and do here is make rooms that are roughly 96 tiles long. Okay, so perfect. So then we're going to go ahead and do that. So 96 is roughly the biggest size room that you can have. I think there are a few rooms that can go up to 120, but of those rooms, I never see it as necessary for them to be that big. So I just make all of my rooms 120, or rather 96 tiles large. And that'll be consistent throughout the main base here, anyway. We'll try to include that in other spaces too, but for the most part, this is how we want it. Gonna go ahead and do one of these. And around these stations over here, these research stations, we want to put down oxygen diffusers. It's time to start breathing. If they're not going to include oxygen, we're going to include it ourselves. So I was really hoping that Nide would go ahead and run on the treadmill and start making some energy. But for whatever reason, Nide seems to not want to do that. So we're going to say, hey, don't do any building. Oh, you know what it is? We're going to flatten this out, actually. Oh, I put that as tidying. It should have been life support. Life support for the oxygen diffusers. So what we want is for Morgan and Kyle over here to do all the building and digging, while Nide over here will supply all of our oxygen diffusers with oxygen, obviously, and do research. Now, as you can see here, we've got our first oxygen being produced. We're going to let these be at priority of 7. And then we're going to come in here to our research tree. Now this is locked. A lot of these things, however, are not necessary, and so we won't be researching all of them, so don't worry too much about it. The first thing we're going to do is come over here to colony development. We're going to be researching up to advanced research. These little bars here show you what type of research you're researching, and right now we only have the basic novice research. But eventually, once we unlock advanced research, we can have another bar that we can use to research higher and higher things. And as we get down to here, there's even an orange bar. We're playing the base game, for those who know, oxygen not included. And so we don't have the Spaced Out DLC. In Spaced Out, though, there is even a fourth tier of research that you can that you're going to have to research, obviously. But yeah, we're going to get advanced research going. As a matter of fact, we're also going to dig out the next, 4 tiles up here. It's a little pocket of oxygen right there. For the most part, I don't think it's going to be necessary now that we have oxygen diffusers down. Wow. I was really hoping that we would have more oxygen produced. So room overlays, barracks, perfect, right? Up here we have the laboratory. This simply makes it so that research happens faster. Efficiency bonus, as you can see right there. And the light from the printing pod is giving us a, let's see if it shows it over here. I don't think it does. But when the dupes are over here doing research, they'll get a lit workspace bonus. And so we get the efficiency of having a laboratory and the light. And so they'll do research super fast. But I think that is a good first episode. The first 5, well, we're going on cycle 6 here. First few cycles done. And this is what the base looks like so far. I look forward to playing this with you guys, and my goal here is to get to the Temple of Terror for the first time and catch it on video. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.